We're also working around, at the moment, around 5 different Bay Area power plants. 3 of them are in eastern Contra Costa County, 2 of which Rory was talking about. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about Contra Costa County. It's the second most industrialized county in the state of California, and it already really has more than its fair share of the region's heavy industry and its fossil fuel power generation. Rory's slide showed that 5,600 of the a little bit more than 10,000 megawatt capacity in the area is sitting in Contra Costa County, and most of that is in eastern Contra Costa County, where these two new power plants are proposed, out sort of through Pittsburgh, Antioch area. So the tools that we have used. Well, we've explored several. I'm hoping that there'll be more coming down the pike. Organizing, federal permitting, state laws, state agencies. Of all of those, nothing works as well as straight up organizing. If your community is organized, it can affect decision makers, it can make its voice heard. Organizing is the single best way to bring about social change. And so a really good example of that was the Nueva Azalea campaign, which, as I said, was a proposed power plant in Southgate in Southeast LA. And this happened before my time. The lawyer whose case it was, Ann Simon, is kind of a legend in our organization because she just put her heart and soul into it, but the campaign itself was really won through its organizing. The power plant proponent applied for its certification to build from the Energy Commission. It was found data inadequate. CBE and its allies submitted data requests to the CEC and got lots of information. We had hearings, and eventually it was found to be data adequate, which with no organizing, that would have been the end. They would have built this 550 megawatt power plant and it would be operating today. But the community had gotten itself together. The neighboring city of Downey had intervened in the CEC proceeding, had adopted, not an ordinance, resolution against the power plant. The city of Southgate itself, where the plant was going to sit, had several council members had come forward saying they opposed this plant, even though the city was going to get a lot of money from having it there. So the actual upshot of it was that we organized a Measure A, which was a non-binding resolution to vote up or down. The citizens of Southgate voted yes or no on this power plant, and they voted 2-1 no power plant. And the project proponent withdrew, and no power plant. So that was really about the organizing. The next sort of softest spot is the federal permitting process, which Rob is kind of the shining example of his maneuver on the Russell City permitting process. I probably don't need to tell you guys about. So I will tell you about how it has played out in the South Coast, where, sorry, let me back up. The state of California thinks that new fossil fuel power plants are very important, and they don't want communities to stop them from being built. And so they've basically taken all the local agencies' power away and given it to the CEC. And there's no appeal from the CEC. The Supreme Court can take a review. If you say, that CEC, it violated this law, that law, the other law, normally you would just go to a superior court and say, they violated all these laws, and the superior court would say, no, 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 go back and do it again. But you can't do that with a power plant. So you have to find another way. And the other way is that the state of California can't take away the federal requirements. There's a Federal Clean Air Act, there's a Federal Clean Water Act. Both very, very good tools. CBE has been using the Federal Clean Air Act requirements that say in a very serious non-attainment area like the South Coast around LA, you have to offset all of your pollution increases. Doesn't matter who you are, if you're gonna increase your PM emissions, you have to buy an offset and surrender it, which supposedly is a reduction in pollution somewhere. So the air supposedly gets better. You offset 1 to 1.2 is the ratio. Well, the South Coast doesn't really have any particulate matter offsets for sale anymore because the air is terrible. Everyone's dying. You're more likely to die from breathing than from a car crash. So there really aren't any. So the South Coast Air District decided that it was going to fabricate some credits and sell them at a huge profit for the Air District to power plants to build. Yeah, it's shocking. So I have a list of 11 power plants and how many PM credits they needed to build. They all wanted to build. One of them was the Vernon Power Plant. It needed 909 pounds every single day to be able to start operating of particulate matter. And I wanted to get it. It told the CEC it was going to get it from the South Coast Air District. Well, the South Coast Air District didn't have the PM credits either. And it didn't have a way to sell them. It didn't have a rule to make them, and it didn't have a rule to sell them. And so it just went in and said, okay, we're adopting these rules. So here's a rule to make them, and here's a rule to sell them to power plants. So our members turned out in force. We had youth members, scolding the members of the board, and we had adult members, and we had, translators from Spanish to English, and it was really great. And then the Air District adopted the rules anyway. So we went to court and we sued because the Air District had not analyzed the environmental impacts of creating these tons and tons of fake pollution credits. And we won, and then the Air District went back and did a really bad environmental review and readopted the rules less than a year later, and we went and sued again, and we got another court order saying take the rules off the books, and in January of this year they should be taking the rules off their books, which is fantastic, and as of October, the CEC has dismissed Vernon's application because it does not have a federal air permit.